Hello, Maureen Marsh here again, talking about hookups and finding true love in the age of the hookup. And I'm getting the masculine perspective today. So we've got Paul Martin here talking about this subject coming from a man's point of view. So I was suggesting in my blog yesterday that perhaps the whole idea of hookups is much more suited to the male psyche than the female psyche, and I just wanted to get your take on that. Do you think that's true? And has it any appeal to you as a man?
It has no appeal to me.
No.
To me, hookup is just about sex, and I think that men, unless they're in adolescent mode, want more than sex. Want connection. What was the first part of your question?
I was suggesting that it suits the masculine psyche more than the feminine psyche.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's any truth in that statement there?
I think the whole thing of the whole modern concept of hookup is actually trickery. I think that women have been tricked into a masculine model of connection, about fucking, getting together and I don't think it's really what women really want. Women may think that's what they want, but they usually end up walking away, sometimes bitter and twisted. And deep down, I think that men, if they're growing, will come to realise it's not what they want either. I think it's really something that appeals either to adolescents or people of an adolescent
mentality.
Yeah, perspective.
Emotional development.
Yeah, all the above.
Okay, so I sort of suspect you're right. I think there is something in the male psyche that it is more appealing to, but ultimately men and women want the same thing, which is true love. But certainly our programming, the masculine programming, is all about, compartmentalising, not getting emotionally involved, keeping sex a separate thing. And I think a lot of men buy into that, and that's how they conduct their intimate business, if you like.
Well, yeah, men, I think, are very. We've been programmed to be very much in our heads, and it's a very the head's a very lonely place, and women, I feel, really deep down, what all a woman is looking for is love, and women, in the absence of, as you say, true love, kind of make do. They make do with stuff. I think there's a surrender to, they're not going to get what they want, so they make do with, a man's busyness and his business.
I remember you saying that to me, actually. You said that men are, I don't know if this was the exact phrase you used, but that men are all fuckwits and women know that they're fuckwits, but they kind of settle for it.
Oh, well, if I said that, it would have been in a particular context.
Yeah.
But, I think in general men are very disconnected from their feelings, and which doesn't bode well for a relationship.
No.
And in the absence of being able to stand, or be in the presence of women for very long, basically the main connection men seem to have, or not the main, but there's certainly overwhelming drive for sexuality, family, and a man uses his business or his busyness as a mask for his inability to actually be with a woman.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a sympathetic approach to the masculine story, because there's obviously some truth in what you're saying, obviously. But I remember having quite a deep discussion with a guy once who said that that was his way of showing love through his sexuality, that he found it really difficult to communicate emotionally and in other ways, but he could show his love through his sexuality.
I think that that sexuality is an important way of expressing your love, but it's not the only way.
Okay, so tell me your definition of true love. I talked about my definition of true love, which was
Oh, you're not gonna nail me down to defining anything really.
Well, give it a stab. I gave it a stab. Of course, it's a very difficult thing to pin down. But my suggestion is that it's a journey, and my suggestion is that it's about really your relationship with yourself. It's about unearthing all your dark stuff. It will unearth all that as well as the wonderful stuff. It will reveal you for who you are and take you deeper to you.
Yes. Yeah, so you said about it's about the relationship you have with yourself, about loving yourself.
Yeah.
So what I don't have a conventional take. I ask the question, what is the self? And I say that what I experience, that the self is a lot deeper than just simply this this human persona that functions in society. I believe that self-love is actually love of the divinity within, and that what you call true love is really about embracing on all levels love with another.
Yeah, I think the self gets in the way, and I call the self, all our programming, our ideas, our concepts of who we are, objectifying the world and everyone in it. We got to get past that fella that we've created in ourselves.
Yeah, the false persona, the egoic self, that I'm this, I'm that.
That's why it's such a painful journey. It would appear such a painful journey, the journey to true love.
Well, you hook up is all about getting naked and jumping into bed.
It's all about avoiding intimacy, in actual fact.
Well, I think if we're really serious about love, we've got to get naked about our soul. It's about revealing all of ourselves. Intimacy is into me. See, it's allowing another into. So
really, what you're saying here is there's no difference between men and women and what they want.
Oh, I wouldn't say there's no difference.
Okay, give me what are the differences then? Why are there so many problems in well, we're talking about heterosexual here, heterosexual relationships between men and women. Why are there so many problems? I mean, there are problems in all intimate relationships in actual fact. But
I believe that deep down we all want the same thing. We all want true love. In the masculine and the feminine, you've got these two polarities. So there's kind of it's like the yin and the yang. You've got a fit, and some false sense of equality or feminism can divert from actually the beauty of the polarities of the feminine, which is the receptive principle, the receiving. And the masculine, which is the penetrative and the doing.
I can almost sense the hackles coming up from viewers on that talking about feminism in the negative, because I know you. I know you're not suggesting that we're not equal, but it's you. I think what you're saying is we're equal but different, and it's embracing those differences.
Exactly, yeah. We're equal but different, and we have different roles to play.
Unfortunately, we're living in a very patriarchal society, aren't we? And we're kind of quite a mild, watered down version here, and it's just matters of extremity, isn't it? So those feminine qualities, unfortunately, do seem to get exploited, and there seems to be a lot of fear around the feminine.
Well, men tend to fear the world of emotions and the world of feelings, because from a very young age we're programmed that way. Obviously, we have our natural differences anyway, but certainly the culture beats the more caring feminine qualities out of boys. Our dads, with all good intentions, raise us a certain way, and they raise their daughters a different way.
Well, We could go on and on about this. I'm going to kind of draw it to an end and just kind of summarise, if I may, some of the threads that have appeared. I mean, ultimately, it appears to be what you're saying is that we all want the same thing. We all want true love, and that true love is somewhere deeper beyond the constructed psychological program self. And we all want that. And on the way to that, we're going to come across the obstacles, and the obstacles are really the obstacles, our own obstacles, our dark side, our ego, and when you get truly intimate with somebody else, all of that's going to be revealed and dismantled or not. Let's hope if you find true love, perhaps that's when it all gets dismantled, and you know, that's where I think the hope for the human race really lies, actually, in us all facing up to that dark stuff and letting go of it.
I do believe that you've got to go beyond social norms to find the truth of ourselves and of love, so, you know, with another.
Sure. And on that note, love and peace to you all. Let's go beyond the social norms and find true love. Thank you for listening. And thank you, Paul Martin. There we go.